Hey, listen, if your credit score right now is in the 400 range, 500 range, or even the 600 range, and you're looking to go ahead and boost your credit score, if you want to go ahead and add up to an extra 100 points on your credit score within 48 hours, listen, you want to check out this video because I'm going to go ahead and give you the secret hack on how you can boost your credit score up to 100 points within 48 hours. You definitely don't want to miss out this video, as you could be able to go ahead and get your credit score to where you want it to be. Let's check it out.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep.
Hey, what's going on, Blueprint Nation? Thanks for tapping in with us. This is the channel where we talk everything personal finance, funding, credit, as well as we have entrepreneurs come on the show and share their blueprint to success. If this is your first time tapping in with us, do me a huge favor, take a second right now, hit the subscribe button. I definitely would appreciate it. We're trying to go ahead and get the channel out to more viewers. Also, hit the bell notification as we release videos every week discussing topics like this. You definitely don't want to miss it out, so hit that bell notification as well too, all right? And also, hit that like button, man. Listen, man, the likes is getting low, so hit that like button if you're getting value out of this video as well too. But if you haven't done it, don't worry, I'll remind you later on in the video, okay? All right. Like I mentioned earlier, okay, you definitely want to check out this video here because I'm going to be sharing how you can go ahead and upscale your credit score. Right now, if you're being impacted by low credit, which that right there, low credit, as you probably may not be aware, that can hurt you on a lot of different aspects, right? Low credit can hurt you on different terms that you want to get with loans and things like that, being able to go ahead and get funding, entrepreneurship, housing, employment, down payment on utilities, you name it. Low credit pretty much affects almost every aspect of our lives here, okay? And what I'm about to share with you is something that can change your life overnight, which is how to be able to add up to 100 points to your credit score, okay? Now, before we get into the secret hack though, before we get into the sauce, all right, I think it's best first we start off by talking about how does credit scores actually work. All right. Now, what a credit score is basically a 3-digit number that represents you as an individual when it comes to financial obligations, okay? I mean, I like to go ahead and equate it to, it's almost like your grade as an adult, okay? If you have an A, that shows you're doing good. If you have an F, that obviously shows you need to do more work. But your credit score is pretty much the same thing like kids in school, right? By having a high credit score, that opens up a lot of possibilities and a lot of different options for you and enhance your lifestyle as well too, okay? Now, there are 5 major factors that factors into your credit score, okay? Now, there's 2 versions of credit score. There's your Vantage score and there's your FICO score. But we're going to cover your FICO score because that's what 90% of lenders use nowadays when it comes to assessing whether they want to extend credit to you, okay? Now, the first factor, which is payment history, and that accounts for 35% of your credit score. So the more you make your payments on time, of course, this right here is going to necessarily help your credit, okay? The second factor is credit utilization, and that accounts for 30% of your FICO score, all right? So this, of course, depends on the credit ratio that you have available on your available credit, all right? Third is length of credit, and that is 15%. So the longer you have credit, the longer that you keep credit and the longer that you've been in the credit system, that right there is going to go ahead and help you out when it comes to this particular category. The fourth field is credit mix, and this right here is 10%. And this 10% basically calculates your different types of credit, whether you have credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, student loans, personal loans, all of this factors into this 10% category here, all right? And the last category is new credit, aka inquiries, and that is 10%, right? So technically, this is the amount of hard inquiries that you have on your credit report. You rule of thumb, you want to limit your inquiries no more than 1 or 2 per year. Also, remember, soft inquiries does not impact this category. Soft inquiries is when someone like you personally want to go ahead and check your credit score. That doesn't affect you at all, okay? So now that we have pretty much gone over now that we have gone over the 5 factors that weighs into your credit score, let's go ahead and discuss how you can go ahead and add up to 100 points onto your credit score here, okay? Now, the first thing is, here's the secret. All right, here's the secret. Number 1, all right. Now, by raising your credit score by 100 points within 48 hours might sound a little impossible, but it's actually achievable if you make the right moves, all right? The key here is basically understanding what these factors are and also which ones has the biggest impact and how to be able to leverage these factors, okay? So again, by raising your credit score may sound impossible, but it's actually not. The key thing is understanding what affects your credit score and how to be able to leverage these factors that we have discussed. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the first thing is, number 1, your credit utilization, okay? Making sure that you're paying down your credit card balances. As I've mentioned earlier, this particular section accounts for 30% of your FICO score, so it plays a very high significance, okay? So if you're maxing out your credit cards and if you're using them to the limit and the credit card companies is reporting this to the credit bureaus, you are actually losing points, all right? Anything above 30% hurts you in this category versus helping you. So you want to make sure that you keep your utilization at below 30%. Optimally, I suggest, as well as a lot of the experts suggest out there, you want to keep your utilization at 10%. 10% right there is the optimal amount, so you can go ahead and maximize the most amount of points within this particular category here, okay? So think, for example, let me give you an example. Say you have a credit card that has a $1,000 limit, right? So you want to make sure that you're not using more than $100 on this credit card. You want to go ahead and keep the utilization at $100. You want to keep the balance at $900, all right, available credit. And this is only by the time it reports to the credit bureau. So therefore, you're using only 10%. The most is $300. So therefore, by the time this card is reported to the bureau or the credit reporting agency, you're not being hurt on this particular category here. Pause. Okay. Now, we all know staying on top of our credit is extremely important nowadays if you're looking to have a supreme credit score. Listen, check out our friends over at Uptrend Credit, where you'll be able to get a copy of your 3-bureau credit report, score, and grades for as little as $1. Okay. Yes, sign up for a 7-day trial membership with Uptrend Credit, where you'll be able to not only monitor your credit, but also protect your credit as well too with their identity protection services. Check out Uptrend Credit by hitting the link down below and signing up for their 7-day trial membership for only $1, which will then put you in a better step for better credit for better tomorrow. All right, so let's get back to the episode. Okay, so now let's talk about the second aspect of this hack, which is the timing. All right, the timing also plays a huge significance. A lot of people may not be aware of this. All right. I'm not saying that you cannot use the card or you cannot max out the card, all right? What I'm saying is making sure you have the utilization low by the time it reports to the credit reporting agency, all right? Let me break it down in simple terms for you, all right? Listen, so say for example you have a Capital One credit card, right? And this Capital One card, you have a $1,000 limit, and it reports to the credit reporting agency on the 1st of every month. All right. So you can go ahead and use the card. You can max it out if you have the available cash flow to pay it back. But the thing is, you want to make sure you pay off the card 2 or 3 days prior to it reporting to the credit reporting agency. So you want to make sure you make a full payment by the 27th or the 28th of the month. So you're given 2-3 days before Capital One reports it to the credit reporting agencies. So therefore, when Capital One reports it, it's going to report it at a zero balance versus it reporting at the maxed out limit that you have ran up the card throughout the month. All right. So that is a secret hack a lot of people may not be aware of. What you can do, again, what you can do is contact your credit card company, ask them, hey, what day do you report my account to the credit reporting agencies, okay? And they'll let you know whether it's the 1st or the 15th. You could also negotiate with them to go ahead and move around the reporting date to something that's a little bit more convenient for you, okay? But finding out whatever day reports to the credit reporting agency is a huge benefit, because again, this will allow you to be able to leverage this category where you can go and use the card up until 2-3 days before it reports, and then just make the payment before the reporting date, and therefore you're not being hurt on this category. And of course, you can repeat this cycle each and every month, the same cycle here, so therefore you get to utilize the credit card as well as maximize the benefits of boosting your credit score, okay? All right, now another hack on how you can be able to boost your credit score is becoming an authorized user. All right, what be an authorized user is, to put it in simple terms, is you are piggybacking off of someone else's positive payment history and also positive reflection of that credit card that you're piggybacking off of, right? So it could be a family member or a friend, but you want to make sure that you are piggybacking off of somebody that's pretty responsible with the card, okay? As long as they're making their on-time payments, as long as their utilization is low, I would strongly recommend to reach out to a friend or family member and ask them if you could become an authorized user. Now listen, the caveat here, like I mentioned, you want to make sure they're responsible. If they're missing payments or if they're carrying a high balance on the credit card, you definitely don't want to make yourself an authorized user or think twice about it, because just like how any a positive account history will help you, negative account history and a negative information on the account will also hurt you as well too. So if they're doing any of missed payments and things like that, that's only going to hurt you. So you definitely want to make sure that you're picking the right person when it comes to being an authorized user, okay? Now, another secret hack on how you can raise your credit score is requesting a higher limit increase as well too from your credit card companies. Instead of paying down the balance, if you're carrying a high balance, if it's above the 30% and you have the inability to pay it off, contact your credit card company, ask them if they could increase your credit limit, okay? By increasing your credit limit, this will allow you to go ahead and lower the credit card utilization ratio without you having to pay down the balances, all right? So keep that in mind, especially if you've never requested a credit limit increase before, or typically credit card companies allow you to go ahead and request an increase once every 6 months. So if you haven't done so before, if it's been 6 months since you've requested one, it doesn't hurt to contact them. Usually it's not a hard inquiry as well too, so it doesn't hurt you just by calling and seeing. Hey, they may go ahead and approve you, and therefore this will help you out on this particular category here, all right? Now, another way you can go ahead and boost your credit score within 48 hours is also identifying and disputing any errors on your credit report. Now, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, all information reporting on your credit must be complete, accurate, and verifiable, right? So if there's anything that's on your credit, any accounts or inquiries that's on your credit that looks out of place, out of date, or inaccurate, you have the right to go ahead and dispute these errors and have them removed off your credit report, okay? Now, I'm not going to recommend any credit repair companies or anything like that, but if you want help on different solutions or companies, check out the links down below, as there's several options included in the bio of this video that can help you when it comes to removing inaccurate information that's hurting you on your credit score, okay? Now that I've covered the hacks on how you're able to go ahead and boost your credit score, the next important part here I want to share with you is maintaining your credit and staying on top of it, okay? Listen, like I said, you want to make sure you keep your utilization low, making sure that you're paying all of your bills on time when it comes to your credit card, and not putting a lot of new credit onto your credit as well too, all right? Having these good credit habits can only help you. Missing, like for instance, one late payment can drop your credit score by as much as 100 points, all right? So listen, if you're missing payments, you might as well go ahead and not even watch this video or follow the tips on this video, because again, that could drop your credit score by up to 100 points. I'm trying to help you get 100 points, not lose it here, all right? So also making sure that you're regularly checking your credit, all right? Most of us don't take the time out to check our credit, although our credit affects mostly everything in our lives here, okay? Check your credit regularly. I usually recommend that you check in it once every month to make sure that there's no inaccuracies, no errors that's on your credit report. Again, a simple inaccurate bit of information can be the difference of up to 100 points that's on your credit score, getting you from the 5 to the 6 or the 6 to the 700 range, okay? All right. Listen, there you have it. That is the secret hack on how you're able to go ahead and raise your credit score by up to 100 points in 48 hours. I hope this bit of information that we've discussed in this video can definitely help you out. If you've gotten value out of these tips that I've shared with you, again, do me a big favor. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Share this video to anyone who you feel would benefit from this information as well too. Or if you have any feedback on any of the hacks that I've just shared with you, go ahead and drop it into the comment. I'm always in the comments. I'll be happy to go ahead and share my feedback and let you know how you're able to go ahead and get your credit score to the 700 plus club. All right. Listen, thanks for tuning into the channel. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. I want to go ahead and thank you for all of the support as well too. Listen, as always, catch you guys on the flip side, and let's keep on building our blueprint. Take care, guys. Peace.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement. Yep, West Paul with blueprint. This guests are exclusive. Get on and tune in and then learn some new tips about credit, finance, investment. A nice chance to get rich and buy land. Flip it, quick 9 bands. Learn all the skills from Wes, he did it. Learn how to build successful business. Run up a mill and get the digits. Run up a mill. Look, safe place where guests are speaking. Based off financial freedom. All facts, no cap, believe it. Podcast, you have to see it.